Well, let's see, is it really starting? We don't know. Yesterday, it looks like we are started and broadcasting on the net. And if this is a good thing, I hope that we will bet on ourselves and each other and share a bunch of goodness and goodness. Really, John? I think that was a terrible rhyme, even though there's lewdness. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Love Morning. You know, you may have found your way here after watching the critically acclaimed The Burn You Need music video for the song that I wrote and performed with Lisa. And then you come here and you hear that song that I just sang this morning and you go, not up to the caliber that I expect from this Halcyon character, this musical prodigy. Well, you would be not wrong. However, I would just let you know that these Love Morning intro songs, I start singing without knowing where I'm going or the words or the melody. It is an exercise in just trust falling, and it kind of feels like a little like espresso shot up the rectum. Like, okay, gets my energy going. Whew, all right, let's do this. I've never actually had an espresso shot in my rectum. I've only had a few espresso shots in my life. I wouldn't waste them in my butt. Good morning. Welcome to Love Morning. This is a part of Hug Nation. It is an opportunity to connect and share gratitude with one another, to remind each other that we are not alone on this journey, and to share aspects of the journey. I'm live right now on YouTube and on Facebook, so welcome. It is nice to have this place to share together. Would love it if you would say hello. Let us know you're here. Say good morning. You could leave a hello. Where are you currently physically? Share something that you're grateful for. Something about in your room. You notice, oh, I'm grateful for this wonderful morning, the clouds, the overcast. I'm grateful for my pet. No, I don't have a pet, so that was me just getting in character. Or something else. I'll share a few gratitudes in a moment. Right now, I will say hello. Hello to Al. A very merry morning to you. And good morning, Chris. Chris says, I was amazed before I was even halfway through. Was that in regards to the song? Good morning, Razorblade. Good morning. Good morning, Guider Jen. Thank you for clarifying, moosecock. I do just like the opportunity to say the word moosecock. And just, hopefully you're okay with this. When I'm out in public, I sometimes introduce myself as moosecock, since I just find it empowering. Chris says, I'm grateful for a new freedom and new happiness. That feels light and lovely. Thank you. Al says, I would hope a rectal espresso shot would be cooled down first. Well, I'm not going to tell you how to take your rectal coffee. That's personal preference. Like in coffee. So I had a conversation this morning with Lisa about coffee preferences. She likes to get nice beans. She likes to grind them in the morning and then make nice coffee that she drinks black. I could give a shit how good the coffee is because I use so much cream and sugar in it that I don't even know what good coffee tastes like. Like when people say like, oh, you have to go to the Franken Brothers roasters, they're so much better than Starbucks. I usually go, okay, I like gas station coffee because they let me take my cream in a pump and I can have as much as I want. So there. Good morning, Paul Griffin. Paul is grateful for siblings and friends. Have we already talked about how I saw your sister in the most wild timing possible? I've known Paul since I was just a wee duckling, and his sister was at Burning Man, and I was in like the peak focused leading moment at the burn. I'm leading people into the center camp as part of at the end of the Hug Nation. I mean, of the pink ride, my talk, the ride, and then She's like, hey, I'm like, hey, hi, come join. No, after Lisa, come jump in our line. And so she jumped in and was a part of the final moment. But I hope that she was understanding that I was in the middle of something massive, and so I was stoked that she was a part of it. But I was also a little bummed that I couldn't give her more focused attention. But it was cool. Good morning, Michelle. Michelle is grateful for a day with just a few meetings, trying to hold on to the BRC magic calm feeling. It's interesting how my experience of Burning Man is shifting so much with time, you know, and kind of like someone said today in a comment, there were this nice inquiry of like, well, if you were unable to enjoy your burn sober, like maybe it wasn't good for you, or maybe you shouldn't. And I was like, well, I see if I was diagnosed with diabetes and I could no longer enjoy the food court at the county fair, does that mean I can't enjoy the county fair? Like, I feel like I was trapped in the food court during the storm, and I just have too many wonderful memories of eating fried Snickers that it was hard to just enjoy that I was stuck at the fair with people, and instead it was like bummed that I couldn't eat the fried Snickers. Does that make any sense? Hopefully not. Good morning, Jim. Good morning, Carla, or I should say aloha. Ooh. Ooh. Jim is sharing a song. To John Halcyon, a friend so fine, with morning light I pen this line. The sun ascends and skies turn blue. Each dawn reminds me to be grateful too. In every chirp, in beams that crest, I find a moment simply to feel blessed. Oh, this is awesome. Hope I'm not ruining it with my tone. So John, let's greet the sun with cheer. Embrace the now, the presence here. For gratitude's the morning song that fills our hearts and makes us strong. Good morning, John. I'm glad you're near. Let's live this day in gratitude, my dear. Yeah! Thank you, Jim. That's awesome. Moosecock says, I get a lot of mail on Playa, and every person delivering mail to me loves announcing out loud, mail for Moosecock. Thank you, Chris. Chris is also grateful for the past. I won't regret or shut the door on it as I comprehend a new serenity and peace. I'm grateful for Facebook memories, for bringing the past so vividly back to me. I was looking at some Facebook memories just before this of Burning Man 2020 when it was canceled, and how the other things that burners did, like the virtual burn and the BRC VR that I participated in, and also the porch camp. I'm not sure if you were around for that, but I set up pink pop-ups and pink outdoor. I put it on my porch. I made a theme camp that people could come visit outside, and we would have visitors with either masks and social distancing outside during Burning Man. And we served ice cream like Pink Heart, and we had a whole cool porch camp and had a sign out to explain it to the neighbors, and people loved it so much in the neighborhood. At first I'm like, I promise this visual atrocity will be gone in a week, and people were so enthusiastic in the neighborhood. We kept it up for like 6 weeks during the pandemic. We had a theme camp in our front yard, and we served ice cream. It was so rad. So I'm grateful for that memory. And grateful for what that did as far as recalibrating mindset as to what is Burning Man and what does it mean to be a burner, and where can we express ourselves as burners. Hello, Katie. Happy Virgo new moon. Katie's saying those were fun to watch. Facebook memories are bittersweet. Sometimes, yes. They should have a thumb up, show me more of this, show me less of this for Facebook memories. And I wish that you could re-access them after the fact. I wish you could just go back day, like, because sometimes I'll open tabs because I want to, like, oh, I want to save that picture, or I want to, download that video or something, and then the next day it's gone. And Facebook, you can't search. I just realized I regret not just having a private blog that everything I post on Facebook I put on my private blog, so I could search things and find things and not have them degrade. So many of my old videos now don't have sound on Facebook or have degraded so badly. It's kind of a bummer that I was relying too much on Facebook as to being my blog home. We're live on Facebook and YouTube, so if you hear me saying hello to somebody that you don't see, it's not just in your head. But hopefully you can feel the presence of one another. Mary says, good morning. I am grateful you experienced a sober burn and had the desire for others to enjoy Pink Heart regardless of the challenges. The film footage was so positive. Thanks, Mary. That's the great thing about editing. Whether it's film or your life, you get to tell the story that you want to tell. Take the footage that you want, tell the story as you please. I got that advice from Jacob Glass, that you don't get to choose the footage from your life, but you get to edit it how you want, and you can put whatever music you want behind it. So you can take footage of young lovers on the beach and the ocean, and you can put some music and it's a love story. You put other music and it's the beginning of the movie Jaws. And it's a horror movie. So we have some editing abilities over the narrative we tell about our lives. Al is grateful for the clear sky forecast this weekend. I'll be staring lovingly at galaxies. That's almost as cool to say as, quote, my name is Moosecock, end quote. Oh, Chris says, I'm grateful I don't have a car and never have owned a vehicle. Ooh. I've never owned a new car. I do own a car that is 2003, I think. And then my motorhome is a 1983, 84. I like owning things that I have no expectation of keeping in good shape. I don't like to care about things very much. I like nice things. I just don't want to have to take care of them. What else am I grateful for? I am grateful for my partner, Lisa. I know yesterday I said that we would pick up today because we had technical issues. If you were here yesterday, I ran out of memory on my computer and I just shut down. So I apologize, because we're enjoying the conversation and enjoying the flow. And we said we'd come back today, but forgot that she had an appointment at 9. So tomorrow, if all goes well, Lisa will return and we'll do some more joint love morning tomorrow. But I am grateful for the beautiful ways that we are integrating and adding in our own ways to this domestic experience. Yesterday, I think pretty much it's complete. She redecorated the other bathroom. She painted it. She got a new light fixture. We have a bidet. She changed out the mirror. And she totally upgraded the second bathroom, like in a matter of days. We had our friend Kiwi come and help with some of the plumbing and electrical stuff. But it's visually gorgeous. And we now have a bidet with a heated seat. There's something about sitting down on a heated seat. It's almost just like the sensation is telling your body, bring me your poop. I had my very first bidet baptism. What would you call that? This morning. And I've used bidets before, but never. I've always been a little uneasy and this was the first time I've ever used one in my own home and kind of took my time. And man, I feel like I'm ready for anal play. It's just that simple. I feel clean as can be. Oh, I think you may have noticed if you were watching with Lisa that our humor is very in line. And so she laughs at all my jokes, and I think it encourages me, which you could say is good or bad. For me, it's great. I because my mind is always thinking about what's the punchline, what's the funny thing here, and because she's laughing, I don't have to. It's just there's never my brain going too much or that was awkward. I gotta explain that, and so it's just like this flow goes, and I think that sometimes that comes through more in my life as I'm just trusting the wit flow more because it's being affirmed through Lisa's laughter. Paul saying, your house was the first place I saw a bidet. You must have tried before. I didn't. So I totally forgot about that. My parents had a bidet, and I thought it was a female thing. I thought it was I thought it was yeah, actually there's some of that I don't even want to say out loud what I thought it was for. Yeah, my parents' bathroom was a forbidden place to me. They didn't forbid me. There was two. The bidet wasn't built into the toilet. There was a toilet, and there was a whole separate device for shooting water into the privates, which I thought was something the women needed. And no, that's funny. Yeah, no, I didn't. Childhood is a trip. uh Michelle's also a bidet fan. Maybe that's the next step of the Pink Heart Porto. Boy, I have been. Is it? Can I say this out loud? That was that Pink Heart's 14th year. Michelle helped organize a private porta potty, and a private porta potty is it's not an incremental step in comfort. It is an exponential because of a couple of reasons. One, when you know everyone that's using the same porta potty, it's like the difference between your own bathroom at a party versus a gas station bathroom, where eventually some people just don't give a fuck, and it can get gnarly. Portos can get gnarly, but your own porta potty, even though it's inherently a gross thing, all the extra gross things about it stay nice because it's all family that's using it, all friends and trusted people. That plus, this Porto is decorated like one of my favorite art projects on Playa. It had hilarious things on the wall. There's this big poster of a unicorn, and it said, what did it say? Your butt towel, my liege, with toilet paper on its horn. So good. And just funny stuff everywhere. It had a guest book. Oh, it was great. Good morning, Mingle. A bum gun, yeah. Good morning, Zoe. Jim pointed out that the U.S. citizens need to clean out the booty hole. That is true physically and metaphorically. We need to relax our rectums in many ways. Zoe says, grateful for a good night's sleep and to be up early enough for an early electric unicycle ride while I catch this broadcast. Wow! Right on. Great start to your day. Well, hello, Zoe. I just saw on my Facebook memories a picture of us last year in front of Pink Heart together. Good morning, Jamie. Hola. Al says, grateful that Burning Man refined me further in its fire. It's usually painful, but I feel more resilient afterwards. Exactly. Intellectually, I know that the reason why it's so powerful and transformative is because it's hard and it stretches us. And yet somehow in my brain, I always think, yeah, but I, I've got this all figured out. Yeah, famous last words. Joyce is saying that Linus will be proud to hear about my bidet baptism. I'm reborn. Um, you're about to saying that like your own Porto is like your car versus a rental car, right? Yeah. Well, or a rental car that a bunch of people are using. I guess that is a rental car. Good morning, Wendy. Wendy says, I'm grateful that you have found someone that makes you so happy. Your morning talks have become so much more positive and you smile and laugh more. I am pretty happy. You know, not 100% of the time, but and I think we do a good job of staying aware of the good things, you know, and you know, I have moments of just meditative presence when I'm just holding her and feeling her and touching her and smelling her and just like and really just allowing myself to to be in the headspace of like this is it. Like you don't need to do anything. There's nothing you need to get, which is like I'm not sure about you, but there's so many brain things of like, what's next? What's next? What do you need to do? Come on, fix this, fix this. Which some of that I think is just total human conditioning, and the other is that was kind of the root of my anxiety. You know, I was meditated. I wish I was medicated for 10 years because of anxiety and depression. And until I was medicated, I didn't know that there was any way to be other than always thinking, what should I be doing right now? 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 And I still have that, but it's way more in control. And it's this beautiful awareness when I am, you know, with her, and feeling like this, just this, please, more of this, please, more of the same. Hello, Lou. Are you in both chat rooms? EUC life. Why am I missing what that means? EUC. Electric unicycle. Aha! Ooh, Joyce got a new job. Congratulations. Carlos says, gratitude to all this shit talking. You know, there's only 3 things that are certain in this life: death, taxes, and pooping. So, we can't ignore. Moosecock is thankful for Mom coming home to my home with mixed feelings there from the hospital yesterday. Well, glad to know that Mom's out of the hospital. I am grateful that I think the weather's cooling off. I don't deal well with heat. The reason why I'm in this room instead of the room that I broadcast the rest of the year is because this is the smallest room and I can air condition it when it starts to warm up. But without air conditioning, it's the warmest room in the house. So I struggle with anyway. But now that I have a roommate, it's going to be interesting because if I move my office back to the living room, then my office is in the living room. However, luckily, I think we have an arrangement that's working out where there's a second bedroom that is her room, office, whatever now, that she is painting today because she's rad and has totally, got a vision. So I think if I'm in the living room, the idea is that as long as she has a space she can go to, if she feels that I'm taking up too much space, I think that I might be getting deeper into the too much information realm. So we're almost at half past. So last few chances to share some gratitude before we head off into our day, or requests or questions. I've been asking people that have had say, hey, are you going to do your decompression class this year? Which I do not have plans to, but if people have thoughts about decompression, this is the place to ask, or share something that's working for you. Some way that you are able to express yourself in the default world and flex and exercise those muscles that got such a good burn while at the burn. Ooh, yeah, polymedia dabbler, excellent. Gearbot says, don't call her a roommate. She's a partner. I'm done with roommates. I will only live with someone I'm sleeping with now. Agreed. And I only use the word roommate because to acknowledge that part of having a partner is there's roommate related issues, which just have to do with living in connect with somebody. So there's partnership issues, and there's issues like figuring out being on the same page as far as dishes cleanliness. Like how long is it too long to leave a dish in the sink? Carolyn, good morning. Carolyn says, I'm grateful that I am a warrior. Awesome. Good to see you. Carla has gratitude that we're about 75 to 80% done with the Department of Health survey, and that they weren't too harsh on us yesterday. At the same time, I'm grateful for being organized because it really helped yesterday when they asked questions. Man, that sounds like an ordeal. Bravo for being roughly 75 to 80% done. Good job, Carla. The dishes debate is a doozy, and a place for a lot of spiritual growth if you are open to it. It's one of those things where I've witnessed people have so much suffering in their life because their roommate, leave dishes in the sink. And my offering of advice, if they're asking for it, is generally ask for what you want and then do what you like. So if you need there to be clean dishes in the sink, clean the dishes. And perhaps even say, hey, how about, it feels like I'm doing, to me, it feels like I'm doing a bulk of the dishes. Is there someplace else that, you could stretch? Maybe you're more in charge of emptying the trash cans. And if you are in a situation where you're just totally out of sync and like, I don't care about this cleanliness, that's problematic. That's going to keep, you either have to say, I accept you as is, and I will take on and create my environment the way that I like it, even though it means doing work that in my perception should be yours, or you say, like in my last living situation, my partner had a higher degree of needing of cleanliness. I need a lack of not messes, but piles and stuff. But I don't really notice if there's a few crumbs on the ground in the kitchen or the counter's not wiped down every day. So we just said, okay, I don't even see that stuff. So to keep the crazy down, we're going to get a cleaning person to come in that, I will pay the majority of because you're doing other things. But you got to find some balance, because if you are inviting suffering every time you see a dish, and you have a story of that shouldn't be that way, that they should, then you're fighting with reality. And as Byron Katie says, if you fight with reality, you lose, but only 100% of the time. Simon, good morning. Good to see you. It says, I can relate many overlapping relationships: lover, life, partners, housemates, creative collaborators. And I find it important for us to acknowledge the nuance each of these threads. Yeah, totally. Like, and there are some things that, I mean, luckily right now in the realm of lovers, there's really nothing that is unacceptable to me. You know, if there was, if I would make arrangements to make sure I want to reduce her suffering and pain as much as possible and maximize her joy and contentment and peace as much as possible. And so if my needs are going to impede her ability to be happy, then it makes it a non-need for me, or it makes it something that I will take care of because I do not. My higher need is her happiness. But over time, sometimes those things get a little bit less intense, and who knows, 6 years from now, I'd be like, you always use my robe. I want to use my robe. Hopefully it won't get to that. Hopefully 2 years from now, I'll say, like, you know what? Sometimes I feel like when I'm looking for my robe, I don't find it and I would like it if you would return it after you use it. Can I ask you to do that? Now, just for the record, that is not an issue. There is no robe challenges in this household. Simon says, oh, that was fun to say. He's grateful for his health right now, feeling strong. Nice. Man, that is such a good gratitude, because so often when we feel good, we don't take gratitude for it. And it's only when we feel pain that we start to be aware of, like, oh, right, it's not a given that I'm going to feel good. So I love that gratitude. Thanks, Simon. Joyce is grateful for learning how to live with my kid as an adult. We're both adults now and back in the same house after 9 years away. Her dirty dishes in the sink and all. Joyce is grateful to get a new Love Morning pen pal. Sweet. Chris is saying that my camera is making me look good today. Thank you. You want to do a test and see if my underarms will change the lighting? All right, test. Yeah, see, it changes the color of my skin. Isn't that interesting? Ooh, and warm. Cool. All right, we're going to have a hug in just a second. Gerbot is grateful for this morning chat. Me too. Good morning, Pamelot. My burn this year was better. It had its own challenges, but it was infinitely better because of I did not fall into a near-death exhaustion and sickness. Yes. And I'll take rain over oppressive heat every year if I could. Yeah. Joyce, Gerbot is kind of, what's the word? Holding down the fort. Gerbot is to Love Morning as Tall Paul is to Noon Gratitude. In fact, has helped me with technical issues a number of times. If I've missed anyone's gratitudes, I apologize. You can always say it again. But the important thing is that we are sharing this together. We are aware that we are like-minded, open-hearted, and there's lots of people out there like us. And so as we go into the world and kind of get maybe a few reminders that not everyone is quite so radically self-expressed and supportive and inclusive, that we can remember that we do have support, we do have community, we do have people that are proud of us and encouraged by us. Oh, that was something that I wanted to share, and I maybe share this again. I mentioned my friend who, on their way home from the burn, was in truck stops, or not truck stops, RV parks, and was having less than enthusiastic responses from people. And I shared that, and she listened, and she was like, "Well, you used the word it sounds so discouraging," and she said, "I was not discouraged. Like, it did not bum me out. I was not discouraged. I was sad for them. It made me sad that these people had chose to close themselves off from this opportunity to be connected." And I was like, "Oh, that is such a better response." You know, and as opposed to being shut down, it was more like a compassion for the closeness. So I want to thank Miriam for that beautiful lesson and for sharing her journey, as this process of sharing our journeys is so helpful for one another. We get to expand the human experience is one of a fractional, teeny slice of reality in this moment. And when we share our experiences, we actually get to have multiple awarenesses, and the classroom of life becomes so much richer through the shared experiences of one another. Good morning, Suzanne. And it's so wonderful to share this morning with everybody. So wherever you are in this moment, let's give ourselves a big squeeze and feel the arms hugging you are symbolic and representative of all of us. So as you are being held, it's all of us holding you, supporting you, reminding you of your infinite worth. You need do nothing to be worthy. You just are amazing. And so let's feel held and supported and feel that gratitude for our health and whatever condition it's in. Gratitude for our connections, gratitude for all the things that got us to this moment, all the technology that allows for these connections. Let's take a deep breath in and squeeze one another. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all of you beautiful ambassadors of love, thank you for being here for this Hug Nation Love Morning. I love you. Thank you. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, Lisa is planning on joining us for Friday. That's the plan. Good morning, Melanie. Melanie is grateful for squeezes and hugs and loves and my littles and my husband and all the good that is here. Woo! What a nice sentiment to say farewell with. Bye, everyone.